even though it's a game that easily could have gone the other way. In the key moments, which team is calm and which team is just a little too much. Like the roughing the punter, that was too much. The interception, that was too much. And the Bills made the play. The Bills made the big plays. The Dolphins didn't. It comes down to those two moments in the second half. And that was it. That was it. And the Bills didn't need to do more than that to win the game. So off they go. And, we haven't talked much about the Dolphins, and I'm sure that, Dolphins fans probably would rather we didn't. But I don't know how I'd feel if I was a Dolphins fan today, because my team's still winless. But we weren't embarrassed last night. They said a lot of nice things about the team on TV. I know fans are always concerned about that. Oh, they said nice things about us. They were saying all sorts of nice things about Tua until they threw that interception. Then they clammed up real fast. but right. I don't know. I guess is it glass half full? Is it glass 25% full? Is it a little bit of milk left in the bottom of the glass? I don't know, but it's not the disaster we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, well, one of the things last night, and this is where Dolphins fans would love hearing this. I think it was, later in the game where the Dolphins this is before the interception, and I think Herb Street says something like, "Hey, Herb Street or Al, one of them. Hey, look, after this, if they can kind of get through this stretch, look at that schedule. They got the Jets coming up. They got some teams that it's not that intimidating. So if you're a Dolphins fan, maybe you feel good about parts of the last 2 weeks where you were able to, in flashes, look really explosive and get Tyreek Hill with his he breaks his 30-yard catch drought. No catches over 30 yards. He breaks that last week against the Patriots. You get Waddle in the end zone. You get Tyreek in the end zone. You get the running game going. You come close to winning against the Patriots in Buffalo, and then you look at the schedule. Maybe you feel good looking at that. Now, this is where I wouldn't feel good if I'm the Dolphins. They probably need to stop flying those planes over Hard Rock Stadium saying fire Greer and McDaniel. Because if you fire Greer and McDaniel, now you're forced to look at the team that you have. And then reality sets in that, yes, Greer and McDaniel, maybe you say they got us in this position, but the position you're in is not great. So you bring in another coach right now. If they fired Mike McDaniel today, it's not going to get much better. They're not overly talented. They don't have an advantage against most teams. And then that becomes the focus. Right now, it's like focusing on the head coach and the general manager is a nice little game to play. It's a distraction. But if you take those guys out, now you have to deal with really what's in front of the reality of who the Dolphins are and what the roster is.
Well, and the benefit, if there is any, to doing it during the season is it gives you a chance to evaluate the interim head coach as a candidate to take over. Sometimes you get an artificial bump, though. Sometimes what happens is the firing comes so late in the season and the guys want to play really well for the interim head coach because they'd much rather he get the job than somebody who may come in and say, I don't want him. I don't want him. I definitely don't want him. Yeah. And so it's artificial. And then the guy, and we've seen this happen. The guy who wins 2 of the last 3 games becomes the head coach, and it's a friggin' disaster the next year. But it does give you time to really plan your search and to get the people that you want interviewed. And that doesn't mean lock on one guy. I'm still a proponent of a full and fair and complete search, but you can do a lot of work as to all of your candidates. If anything, you're more likely, if you fire the coach and start your search, you're more likely to not lock on one guy because you have more time to turn over rocks and be very expansive in your search. So that's still to come. And I had misspoken yesterday. I thought there wasn't another opportunity for Stephen Ross pre-12, week 12 bye to make a change and have some extra time. They got another Thursday night game coming up. They play the Ravens on a Thursday night and then the Bills again. Now that's
not good.
That's week 9. So we'll see where they are when week 9 rolls around. They've got
but look at that schedule.
5 games
that's very,
between now and then. They could win 3 or 4 of the next 5 games, and that would change everything. But if they keep losing, Michael, then that Thursday night game at home against the Ravens, if they lose that one in ugly fashion, it could be Anthony Weaver, the interim head coach, when they host the Bills week 10.
Yeah, it's just what really has to upset them is I think the Patriots game. The Patriots game really was their opportunity. They got the Patriots at home Sunday at 1:00 in Miami, where the Patriots never play well. Miami always plays well. And you took control of that game. Achane runs out of bounds, Mike. Looks like it's going to be the game-winning touchdown with about a minute to play. Okay, he runs out of bounds. Okay, no problem. You're still at the 20-yard line, and you have many opportunities to win the game. And instead of going forward, they wind up going backwards, and then the game is over. So that's the one they should have had. They should have gone into last night's game 1-1. You lose a tight game to Buffalo. You're 1-2, and then your schedule softens considerably, and you feel like you got a lot of season left. But right now at 0-3, it's tough to be positive, even if you look at the schedule. It's just tough. You got to win a game.
I text myself observations during the primetime games that I'm able to watch in full, and I want to make sure that I check the last 3 boxes. I could call this the good, the bad, and the ugly. It may be the ugly, the uglier, and the ugliest, but there are 3 things I want to mention. And you can react to whichever one that you want to react to, but I just feel like I need to speak this into the universe. Okay, number 1, and this comes from the ESPN Insights Twitter account. Since Mike McDaniel took over the Dolphins in 2022, Miami is 3-14 against teams that entered the game with winning records compared to 25-12 against teams entering the game 500 or worse. Number 2, why do they even have replay assist when Tyreek Hill clearly doesn't catch the ball at the sideline? He's bobbling it. When he finally catches it, he gets a foot down, and then the other foot is clearly out of bounds. Where the hell is replay assist on that? Where's replay assist? That's number 2. And this clearly was out of bounds. I don't know why Sean McDermott didn't challenge. I don't know why. All you got to see is that look. Well, he's got the ball now, and he's got one foot down, and the other foot's out. It's good in college and high school, and that's easy. They overturned a spot late in the game with replay assist.
They gave Miami the first down.
It can't be something it can't just be something that's randomly activated. That's number 2. And number 3, at the end of the first half, like, was Josh Allen like flipping around a live grenade there? Like, he fumbled the ball and he got up and he threw it to the official, and that just wasn't mentioned. And I assume he gave himself up there. But I don't know if you, because my son was like, what just happened? Like, because I said, holy shit. And my son's like, what? Because it's a kneel down. I said, he fumbled the ball and he got up and he flipped it to the official like he's the running back. Like, that's a live ball. So anyway, those were my 3 observations that we didn't get to in the first 50 minutes of the show.
Yeah, I think I love the replay assist point. And we talked about it last week. What's the point of it? What's the point of replay assist when these things are so obvious and they're not taken care of? And that Tyreek Hill play, the only response we got was Al went, oh. He went, oh. And then they just moved on. They moved on because, Miami smartly comes back and runs the next play before there's any challenge or any pause.
But they didn't even rush. A lot of times you'll see the offense like, oh, we got to go. We're getting away with one here.
Is it like in baseball, Mike, where, Greg Maddux, they always said, he operated just right always on the margins. And because it was Greg Maddux and he had great control, If it was any kind of judgment, well, it must be a strike because Greg Maddux threw it. That's a strike. And the batter's sitting there looking at it. Well, it must be a strike. It's Greg Maddux, but if it's somebody else, it's a ball. So Tyreek Hill, brilliant receiver, we know. So he gets the benefit of the doubt, and they're not even checking it. And another receiver, I don't know about that. Let's go and check it. I don't know what the explanation is, but it was clear. You're right. I mean, you can see it. Everybody, once he got control of the ball, one foot down, the other foot out of bounds, that should have been an incompletion. Easy.
I know we need a break, but it just underscores the fact that this replay assist is a very vague, amorphous thing that you never know when it's going to be used. You never know when it's going to be ignored. Who's doing it? Are they paying attention? Right? Are they on their iPad, like, looking for the next tracksuit that they're going to order when they should be paying attention to each and every play? Like, this is the ultimate. You have one job.
Still here for you. Sponsorship opportunity.
If you're the replay assistant, you have one job. Wait for the moment where, if you're watching the game at home, you're going to sit forward and say, did that really? And it was just crickets. It's just weird. And it shouldn't be weird. It should be predictable. It should be clear. And it should be obvious. And last night it was clear and obvious that Tyreek Hill didn't make the catch before he only got 1 foot down. And crickets. All we got was, ooh. That's it. And that should be the test. Anytime the announcer says, ooh, replay assist should be activated. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.